Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ken's Show and Tell. Today I'm going to be just checking the air conditioning systems on 3 Mercedes Benz. I'm going to start with this 1963 220 SE, then I'm going to move over to my 1971 280 SE and my 1972 280 SE 4.5. So the first thing that I've done is I've hung my gauges appropriately, got these valves closed for the low pressure and the high pressure. Blue is low, red is high, and then these have color-coded caps on them, which I've attached here for the low pressure and high pressure, and everything's closed. So now what I'm going to do is get ready to open the valves down here to look at the static pressure, and then we'll talk about what static pressure means. Well, this is what we have on a cold engine with static pressures. On the low side we have about 2 pounds per square inch, or 2 psi. On the high side we're sitting right at 0, or a little bit less. I mean, not less, but it's probably close to 2 psi, because you can see the graduations aren't nearly as fine as on the low pressure side. Now what it's supposed to read, according to this ambient temperature, here's the ambient temperature in the engine compartment, and it's right at 70 degrees or so, and that should be reading, let me show you the chart here, and this chart says at around 68 degrees we should have 68.3 pounds, and at 70 degrees we should have 71.2, so somewhere in between there. So basically what that means is that I'm low on refrigerant. Today I'm going to be checking the air conditioning charge status on this 1972 Mercedes Benz 280 SE 4.5. Let me show you what I've done already. I have this manifold set up to check the low and high pressure on the AC system. Low is blue, high is red, and you can see I have it connected into the low side here blue and the high side here red. And what I'm doing is everything's cold, and it's static pressure measurement. Now, according to static pressure measurement figures, when your ambient temperature, that is the temperature that your engine compartment is at, which is in this case is about 78 degrees, something like that, then your static manifold pressure at 78 degrees is supposed to be sitting right at 83.5, and they're supposed to be pretty equal on either side. So let's just see what we have here. So we have about 71 psi here and about 75 psi here. So that's pretty close. So what we're going to do now is, so what this means is that the system is equally charged on both sides, which is good, and it has refrigerant in it, which is good. And in this case it is R134A refrigerant. Next thing I'm going to do is start the engine, and let's just measure the pressures with the air conditioner on, and see what kind of cold air it is or is not blowing. What I'm aiming for is a pressure over here in the low side of between 27 and 30 psi, and in the high side 2 to 3 times higher, around there somewhere. And so we'll see what this gives us. the air conditioner's blowing. It's sitting right at 20 on the low side and right at 200 on the high side. I put just a little bit of refrigerant in here, and now the compressor's on, and I've watched it click on and off. Let's go in and see what it looks like on the inside. Compressor just kicked off. High side's going down, low side's going up. Now the compressor just kicked back on. She's settling down, you know, a little bit below 27 on the low pressure. Let's just see what we've got inside. I hope you can see this. It's putting out about 38-degree air, which is just wonderful. Okay, it might even be a little bit cooler than that. 40 to 45, 40, right there is supposed to be, which is perfect. But look at that. All right. And you can hear the AC fan running over there really nicely. Okay, I would say that this is done, and we might want to take it out for a ride, test it. Anyway, so the 4.5. Now we'll turn our attention over to this 71 280 SE, the straight 6-cylinder in it, factory air conditioning, and the high pressure side is located down here on this car, and the low pressure side is located back here. All right, and we've got doing the static reading on the low and high pressure side. Low is 70 or 72, and the high pressure is sitting right at 75, so that's perfect. It's evenly balanced. So let's turn it on and see what the low pressure is, and we'll see what the high pressure is. Cold and trying to warm up. Let's just give it a minute here. Got the AC on. You can see it's sitting right at about 32 on the low side and 160 or so on the high side. Well, the temperature's sitting right at 38 coming out of this vent, and I'm happy with that. I think the outside low pressure is showing about 25 or so. Get a little more RPMs here. I think this AC is working really well. It's idling. Let's go out and look at the pressure gauges. Nice. So the way we'll do it is we'll keep this high side closed, keep this low side closed until we run a little refrigerant in there from this canister here. And see if we can't get this up just a little bit. Side sitting on about 180 or so. Low side sitting right at about 22. Another shot here. Well, the thermometer gauge inside was reading about 38 at maximum cooling, which is excellent. It cycled in and out several times. I just shut it off. The pressures are now equalizing slowly. It can take up to a half hour or longer for these things to equalize. So you don't need to sit here and watch it, because we saw it in the beginning that they were equalized pretty good. It's already dropped down to about 44, 40, 43, 41, 42 on the low side, and then, about 140 or so on the high side, 130. So it's equalizing. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching Ken's Show and Tell.